scrape as well.
Page
so
186 has a diagram of how you really would like to use a penny to scrape off a little pile of ash. This is pumice. You're going to scrape off a little pile of pumice. This is what's in lava, the soaked lava.
Yeah, that's why I give each one of your extra pins. Yeah, that's great.
Go ahead and get a nice little pile because you're going to need a sample. Go ahead.
Oh my God.
Water each one.
So
Put
soft.
one thing of water each.
They almost do the fingernail. Very good.
This is typical pumice. It has a specific name. This is mostly silicon. It is glassy. It's referred to as glassy pumice. Does anybody know where on our periodic table silicon fits? Does anybody recall?
Metal?
Silicon is a semiconductor, a metalloid.
Right.
It's a semiconductor. It's a basic computer component.
Yeah.
That's why we're choosing this as one of our samples. This is glassy pumice. Let me go ahead and get these samples back so I don't confuse them.
Okay.
They're visually, they look very similar. So I want to make sure.
It is glassy and glimmery and stuff.
Yes. Now, that's an excellent observation. It is glassy and glimmery. Anybody have any other observations they'd like to make about this particular sample? Please keep your pile together. You're going to need to drop some of it in water in a minute. Please don't jump the gun yet. Now make a separate pile with the separate sample using the same procedure.
This was really. It's really rough.
Now this is volcanic ash. Of course, we know this is scraped rock. But it's volcanic ash. It's not
Did yours
anything
smoke?
like the ash off of the end of a
Did
cigarette.
the other one smoke like that?
Now,
No.
this is called floating pumice.
Oh, it turns into a powder. Huh? Pretty cool.
It's called floating pumice. Hint, that's some kind of should help you kind of predict something about how it's going to behave in a minute. It's called floating pumice. Now,
After you.
where did that?
They're from Kirkpatrick stuff.
It's
I put that other center box
What'd you
in,
think?
so I set it down.
Oh, it's like beach sand.
That's what I said. We're bringing it.
Yeah.
I smoked.
Or
as I was-
dirty, like salt.
Is that it?
Yeah, you
Pumice?
got smoke off of it as I was scratching.
Glassy pumice?
What?
Yeah.
It is
The
in-
second sample.
Okay. So you've got floating pumice still as a rock.
Go back and forth.
Now trade, as soon as y'all get one, trade with me. As soon as y'all get a pile, trade with me. Okay, you have a pile? Now,
Hi.
just one moment, trade with me.
Yes, we just finished it. Awesome.
Okay? I'm gonna take your floating pumice back, and I'm gonna give you a glassy pumice sample. Now, they have floating pumice as a rock. You have glassy pumice as a rock. You both have glassy and floating pumice ash. Now, first, take your whole rock and drop it in the water. Not your ash, your rock. Drop it in the water and observe.
Look at there.
And observe what it does. It's a rock. Oh, what is this called again?
It sank like a stone.
Called what? Floating pumice. Look at it. Look at the buoyancy. Look at the buoyancy differential.
It stunk.
Look at the buoyancy differential. One floats, one sinks. I wonder what's the difference. I wonder why.
Density.
Density.
Those are all both. I like both
And
of those.
buoyancy, which is slightly different.
All of that.
Bubbles coming off.
All of
Really?
those are outstanding.
We have bubbles,
Oh, yeah.
even from our sinker.
Okay.
We sure do.
You have good bubbles?
Yeah, they're kind of weak.
Yeah, we have weak
Okay.
bubbles.
They're not super.
Now,
Oh,
you can certainly, you can probably predict
Oh, wow, that is.
what your particles, what your ash is going to do.
Cool.
You can probably predict what your ash is going to do.
Ash is gonna float.
Well, your floating pumice ash will float. Your other pumice ash, what do you think it'll do?
That should sink.
Okay, let's go ahead and take our big rock out. Go ahead, ma'am.
Is it not the vesicles that make it float?
Ha, vesicles, another word.
The air pockets?
Vesicles.
Or is it the material itself?
Are the density of the material.
Now I forget which is
Are the
which. Is this our
vesicles.
first?
For your feet.
Second
Yeah.
one we did?
If anybody would like to use their personal device to look up the words vesicles, possibly even research a little bit real quick on what might be the difference between floating pumice and glassy pumice.
Oh, this is
Now, go ahead and check your floating. Go ahead and drop your ash in. Just start dropping ash in. Just get a general idea. You've pretty much made some predictions.
Oh,
Get
it's
some
still sunk.
ideas.
It's still sunk.
Guess what?
It, oh, and there's, okay.
Unless it's just stuck on the surface.
And now, it's gonna be interesting. Come on.
That's
They
sank
both
too.
sunk.
Has to be the composition
Well,
of
let's
this.
try.
After they sat on the surface tension for a second.
Okay.
Oh, well,
I'm
actually,
hearing some
some are
interesting
from the
observations
top,
over
some
here
floated.
concerning surface tension and
Oh, some is
how
floating.
particles are responding after they go through the initial surface. Okay.
Some of it floats.
Did you guys get any floating?
Did you get any floating particles?
Little
Yeah,
bit.
we do a little
Some
bit.
floating
A
on the
little
top.
bit. Okay, let's try. Let's do an extension real quick and see what you think. Okay. Do it. Let it go ahead and let your surface tension settle down for a moment, and go ahead and grate some floating pumice into the water and make an observation. Use your pen. Use your penny. Grate some floating pumice into the water and make an observation.
It's sinking.
It is?
Interesting. So, considering, this is very, very important class, considering the fact that the whole rock floated on the floating pumice and the ash, the artificial ash sinks, what would be your revised theory about why floating pumice floats
There must
as a
be
rock?
some type of pockets or of air inside there.
Vesicles?
Vesicles. Yep. Like I said the first time.
Yes.
Yeah, and there are little pockets everywhere.
Extremely
Oh, yeah.
important. That's the point of the lesson, or one of the primary points of the lesson. Is
So
to,
gases got trapped inside the material.
that's a good theory. Any other theories about how these vesicles form? These little pockets.
I guess as if it's lava or some kind, it's catching pockets as it's going of air and dry solid maybe. What do you think?
Okay, we have one other activity. We may not have time. It's up to y'all. What do you want to do? We are prepped for one other activity, though. That's the regular glassy pumice, and this is the glassy pumice. Now,